The attacks took place in the heart of Vienna, just hours before Austria entered a new coronavirus lockdown. A CCTV camera caught images of a heavily armed attacker looking for victims in the cobbled streets of the city centre. Seconds later, he shot this man at close range.
Upon hearing some shots downstairs, I looked down the window and I saw the attacker running into various bars and restaurants which are lined up on our street, and people running away, and this one or two attackers chasing them all over the street. That's all I saw.
Suddenly the shooting started. At first we didn't know what it was, but suddenly people in the neighbouring gardens started to run. We stayed standing there and there was shooting again, closer, so we started to run away. Because we didn't know if we were running in the right direction, we ran into a hotel and hid there.
4 victims have been so far confirmed dead, but more than a dozen have been injured, 7 of them critically wounded. One armed attacker was killed by police. He's a 20-year-old man with a dual citizenship of both Austria and North Macedonia. He's been named in the media as Curtin S. And it's now known that he served a prison term last year for attempting to travel to Syria and join the Islamic State group. 2 arrests have been made in the Austrian town of St. Pölten, a city 35 miles west of Vienna, and a manhunt is ongoing.
Es hat sich mittlerweile bestätigt, dass
It has now been confirmed that yesterday's attack was clearly an Islamist terrorist attack. It was an attack out of hatred for our fundamental values, out of hatred for our way of life, out of hatred for our democracy, where all people are equal in rights and dignity. Last night will therefore go down in history as a night in which some of our fellow human beings fell victim to an attack which in reality was aimed at all of us, an attack on our free society. But one thing is clear, we will not be intimidated by the terrorists.
In the wake of the shootings, Germany stepped up checks at the Austrian border as Chancellor Angela Merkel expressed solidarity. And coming less than a week since an attack in the French city of Nice, President Emmanuel Macron tweeted, "We French share the shock and sorrow of the Austrian people." Well, France, of course, had already been on high alert after the attacks there in recent weeks. This attack here in Vienna sharing some of the hallmarks of the shootings in Paris 5 years ago that killed so many people, with multiple gunmen hunting victims on the street, shooting people, enjoying a night out. And indeed, leaders in the rest of Europe now say they're stepping up vigilance to prevent potential copycat attacks, more potential planned attacks like this one in the Austrian capital last night.
Paul Rhys there on the ground for us in the Austrian capital, Vienna. Thanks so much, Paul.